Eric B's Daily Vlogs.
It's beautiful. It's eerie. And it's very, very cold morning. Here in San Francisco, Stow Lake, because I self-proclaimed debunk an urban legend and a myth and let these people pass. We'll talk about this all on the other side of the break. So let's get this started.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Welcome everyone, it's my daily vlog channel, Eric B's Daily Vlogs. Stow Lake. Stow Lake, San Francisco's Golden Gate Park area. You can hear Huntington Falls in the background. You can see the Chinese pagoda all the way over there. It's a nice, brisk morning. You got the ducks coming up to me because people feeds the ducks here, or they're not supposed to. Not supposed to feed the ducks. So they start walking up to you. They start thinking you're going to feed them. And then you got the daily walkers is here as well. But I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I did a podcast. I'll let you guys listen to that segment that I did right here. Listen to this right here.
Yeah. Scary. So to me, the whole lady in white, Stow Lake, is a myth. Urban legends that was passed on from generation to generation. And again, just imagine you live in the same house your parents raised you. Now you have kids. You guys are living in that same house. What do you tell your kids? Don't go into the lake. Don't go into Golden Gate Park. There's a lady in white there. You tell them the story that was told to you as a child, hoping that it captures fear in them, and it does. Now they don't want to go in there. And then when they inherit the house and they have kids of their own, they do the same exact thing. They tell their kids this urban legend, this story. And the only reason why I call it a myth, I call it a legend, because one, yes, it was definitely passed down from generation to generation for the people that lived in that area. And back then there was no social media. Nothing. Social media was little Tommy went to school the next day after their mom just told him that story, and little Tommy told Becky. Becky says, "Oh, you're full of malarkey. That's not true." But then other kids in the same classroom starts to hear it. Then they start telling the story, and then they start telling the story. Then they start spreading the story. Then all of a sudden, don't go into the park at night. There's a lady in white. And I think it was more for the safety reason. It was a lake. You didn't want your kids drowning in the lake. You didn't want to wake up one morning, your kid's not there, and then there's a bunch of police officers at the lake because a child was found drowned in the lake. You didn't want that to happen, right? You can't say no to a kid. You can't say, no, don't go there, because their curiosity is going to kick in and they're going to be like, why don't my parents want me to go there? Why can't I go there? The curiosity kicks in. They're going to want to figure out why, and they're going to go anyways. And then that's when something bad can happen. So instead of saying no to these kids, instead of saying, no, you can't go, they just come up with this story. Lady in white.
Okay, so you heard the segment. I did a podcast. I debunk the story of the lady in white. Everybody knows the story of the lady in white. Me and my coworker did a survey the other day, and what we did was we asked San Franciscans, whether you're a transplant San Franciscan or you've lived in San Francisco for a while, we asked, do you guys know the story? Or we asked them this, we were very vague. Have you ever heard of the urban legend of the lady in white of Stow Lake? And for you guys who are brand new and don't know the story of Stow Lake, the story goes, there was a lady, she had her carriage with her baby in there, and she got to talking to somebody, and supposedly the carriage rolled into the water, drowning the baby. Mother supposedly jumped in after the baby, and they both drowned. Now, the urban legend and the myth goes, at certain times of night, evening, whatever, she comes and haunts the lake, asking people, have you seen my baby? Have you seen my baby? Again, stories, far-fetched. Everybody knows this story. Everyone from Golden Gate Park lives in San Francisco. Whether you live in the area or you don't live in the area, you know this story, right? So that's pretty much the story that happens there. Now here's the tricky part of this whole thing. So Golden Gate Park was built in 1870, or completed in 1870. And then in 1893, Stow Lake, this whole lake that we're looking at, was completed. It's a man-made lake. Water shouldn't be that deep. I mean, if I'm looking at it right now, I can see the bottom. And I'm pretty sure from what people told me who swam the lake, I don't know why you want to swim the lake, but they said it's not that deep. Deep enough for a child to drown? Yes. Deep enough for an adult to drown? If you're not a good swimmer or can't swim, yes. But I don't think it's that deep to where you will drown. You can probably stand on your tippy toes and still have your head out of the water. So this is where my story comes in. I had a person who does a podcast here in San Francisco. He's a San Francisco historian. He asked me to be part of his podcast to just talk about the history and the rich history of San Francisco. And I said, yeah, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Let these people pass. I don't know why people talk so loud so early in the morning. So, again, Golden Gate Park was built in 1870. Stow Lake was completed in 1893. So in my podcast, and you guys heard me say, the neighborhoods that was around Golden Gate Park at the time, and there's a neighborhood on Fulton Street right over here. Over here, we're looking at Sunset side, so there's neighborhoods over there as well. And you had kids who were very curious about the lake. Or, hey, they opened a brand new lake and there's supposed to be boats and we're supposed to be able to do this and do that. So, you know, curiosity. Kids would probably try to come here when their parents told them not to. Oh, don't come there. Don't go to the lake. Kids would be kids, right? Their friends would tell them, hey, let's go to the lake. Let's go check out this new lake that the park just built. So they would. They would come here without their parents' knowledge. Now, it's hard to tell a kid no. It's hard to say, no, you can't go there. No, you cannot be going to the lake at whatever time. I don't care what Billy, Tommy, and Johnny's doing. You cannot go to the lake. But they do anyways. Right? We're talking about the 1800s, early 1900s. Again, neighborhoods all around this area are being built. So what do? What is the one thing a parent do? You can't tell your child no, because they won't listen. Because their friends will be like, no, you know, I'm going, I don't care, I'm going. So what do? Besides tying them down to the bed, locking all the doors at night, one parent decided, let's go tell the kids there's a ghost that haunts this lake. One parent tells another parent, another parent tells another parent. Next thing you know, kids are freaked out, right? And back then, how did we communicate? How was our social media? How were the kids' social media? It was word of mouth. So little Tommy's going to school and he's telling his friend, he's telling Johnny, he's telling Sally, he's saying all these things. These kids don't believe him. Of course, these kids are like, no, 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 that is not true. There's no such thing as ghosts. But then that's how social media gets started. That's how the rumors get spread. That's how the myth becomes a legend. It's a myth. All these crows are starting to gather me, but then I'm realizing those people are feeding them, so that's why they're following them. So that's how the urban legend gets started. And then, of course, what happens? It gets passed down from generation to generation. Don't go into the lake. There's a lady in white looking for the ghost in the lake. Don't go into the lake. I'm watching the sun rise right in front of me, which is cool. So it gets started. Everybody's talking about it. Next thing you know, the whole neighborhood in this surrounding Golden Gate Park area, Stow Lake area, is talking about it. It's the freakiest thing San Francisco's ever heard. So of course you have your seekers, your ghost adventurers. They're coming in here at night and they're checking all these places out. And if I'm standing in this area at night, in the middle of the night, and I'm looking over there at the pagoda and I see a lantern, I hear a sound. You can see all the wild ducks and birds that are over here. If I hear a sound, or if I see something over there, first thing I'm going to think of, it's haunted. There's a lady in white over there. Again, 1800s. There's no light. No, is there a light post here? There's not even a light post where I'm standing. No, no light post. So if you come here at night, this place is dark. That place is creepy. So again, if you're one of those kids back in the days, you would think there's a ghost. That's the sunrise that I'm watching. I'm looking at over there. So that person, the historian who wanted me to be part of his podcast, heard my story, heard my podcast, and told me to take it off. Told me to take it off and stop talking about it because it's not real. Or he said, you're going to confuse everybody. And I said, no, it's a myth. It's a myth that became an urban legend that became one of the most talked about ghost hunts in San Francisco. And I said, here's my proof. How many people has gone to the lake at night and did some kind of ghost hunt? I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who came out here, brought your cameras out, tried to find a ghost. And no luck. No picture of a lady in white. No ghost sightings. No video, anything. No video evidence. I'm holding a camera right here, the DJi Action 3, or was it the Pocket 3? And nobody, even with an iPhone, the era of iPhones and digital media, no one has captured a ghost. Now, maybe some of you have and you haven't posted it, and I apologize if that's the case. But when ghost hunters on the Sci-Fi Network came to San Francisco, they came to 3 spots. Golden Gate, they went to Alcatraz, they went to the Presidio, and they went to a place called Moss Beach Distillery in Half Moon Bay. Not one time did they even mention the lady in white in Stow Lake. They didn't mention it. They didn't talk about it. Why? Because it's a far-fetched story. It's a myth. It's an urban legend. And ghost hunters don't follow myths or urban legends unless you're a Bigfoot hunter and you're hunting Bigfoot. Other than that, no one does that. So this historian wanted me to take it down because he didn't believe that people would gravitate to my story. They would think, no, you're ruining the whole history of the urban legend and the lady in white of Stow Lake. I told him, no, I'm not. I'm not taking it down. I'm not ruining any story. You just kind of want facts, right? Whenever you're doing some kind of anything, ghost hunt, ghost stories, you want facts. And the fact is, this is a beautiful lake. The fact is, there's a myth, an urban legend that's gone on since the early 1900s, the late 1800s, of a lady here comes up walking around these paths right here, searching for the baby. And then I even told this guy that there's no historical documentation of somebody drowning in this lake, yet alone a baby. Pretty sure back in the days there would have been some kind of documents. It would have been in our history books. Like, got these row of ducks. These row of ducks. Where are they? Right there. There's 3 of them. They're hanging out. They're hanging out with me. Again, no historical documentation whatsoever of a baby drowning in this lake. And if there is, then it was probably pen and paper or pencil and paper back in the days, and probably they got lost in the 1906 earthquake, maybe, but nothing. So my belief is, and I did that podcast where I said I think I debunked the whole lady in white situation, is there's no such thing. It's an urban legend. But Eric, what about those people who are coming here and they're doing those nighttime vlogs and they're looking for the lady in white? I mean, this is how they are. A lot of them. I watched some of their videos and this is exactly how they are. Cameras up here and they're walking around and they're like, what's that sound? What's that noise? Oh my God. Oh my God. Something's out there. It's all for dramatic effects. That's all it is. It's all for views. It's dramatic effects. It's all views. I get it. I vlog. I want views. I want people to, clickbait when I say, I saw a ghost at Golden Gate Park. Catches everyone's attention. They want to watch my video. 20 minutes later, there's no freaking ghost in your video. You're hearing ducks. That's what you're hearing. I just wanted to bring that up. I just wanted to come out here, set the record straight, let everybody know there is no lady in white. Sorry. Is the urban legend a legend? It's a legend. It's a far-fetched myth of a legend. Is it a good legend? It's a damn good legend. It brings people here. Like, again, we did a survey at work. We asked locals and transplant San Franciscans, have you ever heard of this legend? Most of San Franciscans has. Most transplant hasn't. Don't know anything. And I think the thing is, too, with them closing JFK Drive, it's a lot harder for people to come into the park. And that's one thing they need to do, is reopen John F. Kennedy Drive so more people can have access to this. I got in here because I know the way to get in here and I know the way to get out of here. But if you're not from San Francisco and it's not easily accessible by car, if you're here for a few days, you're not going to come here. You're not going to come here. And yet alone, if you're not a ghost seeker or a ghost adventurer, you're not going to come here wondering, is there such thing as a ghost? Is there such thing as the lady in white? Look around you. Now, I'm not saying Golden Gate Park is not haunted. Again, this park's been here 1870s is when John McLaren decided to take this land and make it into a park. I'm not saying it's not haunted. It's haunted. It's definitely haunted. But by that particular ghost, The lady in white of Stow Lake? I don't know. I don't think so. As many times as I've been here, as many times I've gone to the Chinese Pagoda, Huntington Falls, went up to Strawberry Hill up there. With all the ghost whispers that I capture, not one ghost whisper has been in this vlog or at Stow Lake. And now if the lady in white's here and you are real, there's a little microphone on my chest. Feel free to go say something in here. Call me a liar. Ask me where your baby is. Do what you got to do to let me know that you are real. I'll take back everything I said. I'll come back here at night and do a video and say, yup, the lady in white is real. Eric made a mistake. I apologize. I take it back. I take it back. I'm just telling you what I think. I'm telling you how I feel. I think it's an urban legend. It's a myth. It's something that the parents that lived in the neighborhood at the time did what they had to do to tell their kids not to come to this lake. And damn, it worked. It worked for kids. It worked for adults. It worked for thrill seekers, ghost hunters, all of that. But it didn't work for Hollywood because they didn't make a movie of it. The Sarah Winchester house in San Jose, they made a movie of it. It bombed at the box office, but you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. I just came here to tell you guys. Sunset, sunrise, that's pretty cool. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Again, I just wanted to come out here, just kind of let you guys know what my feelings are, what I think is really going on. And you know, this is a legend that's been built over and over again. I used to live down on Fulton and Arguello, which is down this direction over here, the Richmond side. And living across the street from the park is eerie because you don't know what's in the park. You don't know if it's a homeless person in the park. You don't know if it's a ghost in the park. You don't know if it's a wild animal in the park. I mean, I'm standing this close to the bushes and there could be something here right now, but it is eerie. I mean, there's an eerie feeling about this park. But again, as far as everyone kept talking about the lady in white looking for her baby, I call that false. I say it never happened. I say there's no such thing as that story. Has babies fallen into the lake? I'm sure people has. I mean, this is a boating place, you know, pretty sure people has fallen in here, but I don't think to a point where someone died, drowned, and the mom drowned after them and now looking for them. I don't think it's to that point. Now the sun's really hitting my face. I'm turning away. So is this place haunted? Yeah. I'm almost guaranteed Golden Gate Park is haunted. By the lady in white? No. No. Could be a lady. Could be a lady. But not the lady in white who's looking for her baby. Not that. Not that. Again, 1800s, this place was built. 1893, they established and completed Stow Lake. 1894 to the 1900s, people were coming around from all over the neighborhood to see this new lake. They had boats. They still have boats. You can walk around here or jog around here like a lot of people are doing, or you can rent a boat, do all that stuff. Is it haunted? I'm pretty sure it is. But again, not by the lady in white. Not by the lady in white. Join me in my podcast. I'll leave the links down below. The Daily Podcast with me, Eric B., where I talk about fun things now. Fun adventures, fun things, ghost sightings, all that stuff is all on the Daily Podcast with me, Eric B. Catch me Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays on TikTok. I do a TikTok live now where I do a music tribute to whatever genre of music, whether it's island music, freestyle, reggae, R&B, soul, 60s, 70s. I do all that. I'll leave that TikTok link down below as well. Follow me there. And that's about it. Second vlog in 2025. How cool is that? I'm gonna let these people pass.
Which is nothing different. Theater, that's what pisses us off.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Go ahead and follow me there. Again, I'll leave the links down below. And until next time, You guys don't believe me? If you guys think, oh, Eric, you're full of malarkey, there is a lady in white, hey, whatever you got to do to come to San Francisco and to make sure we're getting our economy back up to where we are, that's fine. If you want to believe there's a lady in white, that's fine. If you want to come here and do a ghost hunt, that's fine. And if you do have footage and pictures of a lady in white standing over here, let me know. Let me see that. Let me see that. Even the historian who wants me to be part of his podcast has no evidence of a person dying here. Nothing. And he's a historian. But from what him and I were talking about the other day,
That's interesting.
I've been in San Francisco 10 years longer than he has. So, and he's the professional. Go figure. Go figure. That's going to do it for this vlog, guys. Thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Here from Golden Gate Park, Stow Lake. Mabuhay. Thanks for watching, guys. Vlog's ended. Go in peace. Whoa. These guys have been standing behind me for a long time. And as soon as I walk up to them, they're gonna walk away. But they've been around me, standing over here, following me. Look how big that one is. Look how big. Are goose flavorful? Are they good to eat? I don't know. I don't know.
I made this.